to the third and final piece of my Breaking Patterns series. This is going to talk about trust and the evolution of embracing the change in the process beyond survival mode. I wanted to first start off by saying that trust is not something, of course, that we all know that should be something handed out strategically or easily. It's earned. It's not just given. Over time, we know as individuals that trust has to build. Trust has to come with an ease. And even when we give out that trust, even when we place that trust in the value of others, we sometimes see how trusting others can cost us. Often I talk about my survival patterns again, but more so here, just want to speak to, I faced a traumatic experience early on in life as a child. I do not go into that, but it was an offset, of betrayal trauma that was infringed upon me in elementary school. And that one instance changed how I trusted individuals throughout the entire trajectory up until my 40 years of life now. From, I don't want to say the age, but trust in individuals, how I moved about in my day-to-day. Honestly, I didn't trust anybody. And if I'm being honest, I didn't even trust myself. And just thinking about it now, I have truly come a long way when it comes to that trust, when it comes down to how I opened up to other individuals. I realized, even here in 2025 now, that trust, it's okay to trust people. But it's more importantly, when you have trust in others, it's who am I placing this trust in? Is this person worthy of my trust? And I had to realize myself, because to me, everything is spiritual. It starts there. I won't be overzealous in my statement concerning that. But trust, when you trust God and you place everything within every fiber of your being, He will open the door to breaking a pattern that you just never think or thought He could. My own personal experience, because I do not want to speak about trust and push it off like, oh, you got to trust. No, I'm not telling you who you should and shouldn't trust. But I know that when I was able to put down my experience, when I was able to open my eyes and look in the mirror and say to myself, because I walked with myself for a long time, I said, wow, Wanda, that woman in the mirror right there, you don't even trust her. So how can you trust God, the one that you get down on your knees every night and pray to? How could you trust Him? You don't trust yourself. You don't trust God. You don't trust people. That was a thought that pretty much, it just consumed me for years now. Even now, even in this moment, and just thinking about how I did not trust God and how I prayed to Him every day, but yet I didn't trust Him. I'm just grateful now, at the tail end of 2025, I can say that is no longer my story. I can say in the moments when I started handing things over to Him back in 2020, during the pandemic, during the long walks around the neighborhood, and crying out and asking God to release me from the chains that placed me in a mental bondage, that placed me in emotional poverty, because that was what I was. I was that woman who still carried the mind fragments of distrust as that young little girl who had her innocence stolen from her at an early age. So I'm telling you this, as you watch this, understand one thing. Trust is not something that you hand over easily, and I would never tell anyone who's watching this to do that. But understand that I, Wanda, all know in 2025 now. When you place your trust in God and give everything over to Him, He will direct your path. He just will. He has directed my path. I heard my pastor preach a while ago. He said, when you have dealt with an experience in life, it will have you looking at people in the wrong way. And I did that for a long time. I'm sorry, I did. I did that. Me. That was my story. I shut the doors on people. I closed my mind and heart off to people. All because of an instance that happened to me. I was robbed. I robbed other people around me of the chance to help. I closed myself off so much. I didn't trust anybody. I didn't even trust my own family at one point. I harbored so much hate and anger. And I don't know what and how it eventually clicked. But I do know a lot of it started back in 2020 during the pandemic. I was able to sit down with myself. And the picture, as I turned the pages in my life, I realized, ooh, this picture, what I'm looking at, ooh, I don't like it at all. I got angry. I honestly was angry. And I realized, wow, my life really, really, really is not what I thought it was. I talked to people in the past about how we paint a reality. But at the hands of trust, I painted a reality that honestly didn't exist. It didn't. I painted a reality that I thought looked good in the eyesight of others. It's because I didn't trust myself enough to tell the truth. It's because I didn't trust myself enough to live in the shame, live in the horrific waves of what happened. That stigma attached, that knowing that people are going to look at me away because of what happened to me. What happened to me was not my fault. What happened to you, whether it's trauma, whether it's any other type of experience in life that have left you broken, honestly, it's not your fault. But I do know that those experiences that shape us, whether it is through our environments that we grow up in, whether it's through the patterns that we bring on, they will shape your life if you let them. And that is something that I learned, even here and even in this stance, that in order for me to grow and excel even beyond 2025 and more, I had to open the door to trust. And again, my pastor, he said it so beautifully. He said sometimes God will allow people to come into your life and bless you, but you close the door off because you don't trust. You close the door off because of your experiences. You close the door off because you judge everybody based upon what happened to you. Not everybody's out to get you. Not everybody's out to harm you. Not everybody is out to destroy you. We can get in our own pathway. And my pastor, I'm not trying to make it about church, but this is just what it is. He was right. And I'm ever grateful for him. He was right. Because it made me look back and think about how many times I misjudged people. But then I was the very person who would get upset when people misjudged me. I was the very person who would get upset when people underestimated me. I was the very person who would get upset when people came around and did this, pointed, Wanda's this way, Wanda's that way, placing labels on me that I know within myself did not belong. So I say this to you. As you go about your life, yes, you have your boundaries and you have the way that you move throughout and perceive how you trust others. But please, please know, trust Always. It's never something to be given freely. But I am a firm believer when we put our trust and faith in God, He will undoubtedly direct the path. He just will. I've slowly but surely started opening the door to trusting again. Well, trusting, period. With my family, with my child, my spouse, and everyone else. There were certain levels of trust, but I didn't fully even trust my own family, not because they did anything wrong, but because I had my mind ingrained that trust is just something that trickles out here and there. But now I'm learning to trust myself. I'm learning to trust the process, and it has really, really, really made a world of difference in my life. My prayer has been coming to pass a lot. I ask God every day. Those of, the individuals who come within my lifetime, who come within my lifespan, if this person is going to help me, don't allow me to push them away. Whatever is in me, because it's not hard. A lot of us who go through traumatic experiences in life, or just in general, people, your level of discernment is real. So you can kind of pick up on things. I pick up on things very easily when it comes down to people. And again, that pattern of survival, overfunctioning, hypervigilance, it led me to the markers of, I can't trust her. I can't trust him. He's out to get me. She's out to get me. I see how they're looking at me. They're judging me. But the truth is, I, again, didn't trust myself. I judged myself harshly, critically. And some days, deafening, losing sleep, losing my hair, all type of things that I look back at this moment now and know, without making myself feel bad, that had I had the opportunity to do it all over again, I would have prayed a little different. I would have believed a little different. But more than anything, I wouldn't want to live with the shame and guilt of the experience that I had. I wouldn't have. Breaking this pattern of trust is slowly but surely, this is the part of my process that I'm in now. Again, just praying that those people who do come around me, that they are there for the right reasons, and they're not there to, just piggyback off my name, or piggyback off of, okay, Wanda can do this, Wanda can do that. Let me use her. Because I admit it, my empathy, my compassion, they have served me well, but I also know they have been deterrents sometimes, because we can place that level of empathy and compassion towards others. But now it's all about that looking glass and, again, placing it in front of ourselves. I'm just grateful that I have learned to trust when that door is open, to trust. Sorry, you just be careful in that. Everyone that I have ever come across, I've always prayed about it. It's something that I have done vehemently now. God, this person's in my pathway. If it's something about them that you see that's going to hinder my progress and not help me in any way, shape, form, or fashion, I wish them all the best. But please sever the ties so that I can move on past this person, or past that person, or past this opportunity, or past that opportunity, or just getting out of my own way. I have learned that so much. Getting out of my own way and allowing God to naturally bring on that form of trust in others to get better. It has served me well, and I do not have any doubt that as I transition into what's next, it's going to serve me. So that goes without saying. Those who you put your trust in, because that saying goes, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, that's on me. It's true. But not everybody is deserving of that stamp of untrustworthiness, because we can really hinder our own progress and growth in life by not trusting the right people, by not trusting when people come into our pathway. Sometimes we can instinctively pick up, okay, this is not somebody worth wasting my time on. It's the truth. I agree. But then there are others that really are there to serve as a marker and much more. We just have to allow the natural unfolding to take place. And that's where I'm at now. I'm walking through a doorway of opportunity that I can't even express, all because I chose to break the pattern and allow the pattern to sever. This is not going to happen overnight for anyone who's faced any type of instances where their trust is broken. It's not, especially when it's repeatedly happening and you don't know. But I do know for myself that when I closed myself off to people, and when I put everybody underneath a microscope and misjudged a lot of people, that I do without a doubt believe that I've hindered and blocked a lot of my blessings because of that. But now I have learned to forgive myself, because it wasn't a pattern that I picked up because I was being hateful or spiteful. It was a pattern I picked up because of, again, a traumatic experience. But I'm grateful more than ever now, because I'm not trying to, sell your beliefs. Like I said before, how we believe and how we trust, it goes a long way. And I believe a lot of that starts with God, and I'm grateful for him. But trusting him is the key to everything. This is my opinion. Yours may look different. But I know for a fact and without a doubt that when I begin to do that, I can tell you he has definitely not withheld not one good thing from me. Not one. Even in the moments of me learning and getting burned, even in 2025, January up until December now, me getting burned, he still didn't withhold good things from me. Even when people came into my life sowing discord, he still didn't do it. Because I kept looking and saying, I trust you. And again, it has served me well, and I have no doubt it will continue to serve me well. So I'm just ending this here. When you are beginning to come out of that stage of growing from the overfunctioning, from the shrinking and staying small and growing without guilt, that trust has to come along with that package. And you got to know and feel it and believe it emotionally, mentally, physically, but more so spiritually. Your mind will begin to rest, your heart will begin to rest, and your life will definitely unfold in a way that you just can't imagine. So again, trusting the right people and praying and hoping, that's the first step. Do not give up on yourself. Keep going, and know always that all patterns are meant to be broken. Take it one day at a time and never doubt the process.